Right, Rob Key has said that England's World Cup stars have simply not been good enough so far, but has rejected suggestions that their preparation hasn't been right. The defending champions have lost 3 of their first 4 matches and are stranded at the bottom of the standings in the World Cup. Key, who is the managing director of the England's men's cricket side, addressed the issue today.
I personally feel that, the best preparation for this would have been to come out to India sooner, but we had the games to play at the end of our summer, where actually we played pretty well. New Zealand are doing well out here, and we beat them in England, So I just feel in this, we've just not played well enough. I feel like we've got good players who can play 50-over cricket. Our best bowler the other day, who's against South Africa, was Gus Atkinson, who's played 5 games. So sometimes that experience is overplayed and overrated. I just think we've not played well enough. We've not always made the right decision, which happens all the time. But whatever decision you make, it doesn't really matter if your batsmen don't score runs and your bowlers don't take wickets. That's the bottom line, really. And that's what, as much as you get a lot of noise about this, all I ever say to people is, don't worry about all that. Don't worry about what we do there. Just make sure our focus should be to get our players playing to their full potential. If you do that, we're a good side. If we don't, no one's a good team.
Well, Key says Test captain Ben Stokes remains as committed as ever to playing for England, despite only signing a 1-year central contract. The likes of Joe Root, Harry Brook and Mark Wood have signed 3-year deals. It's the first time ever that the ECB have announced multi-year contracts. 8 names are on the 1-year list. Jimmy Anderson's short-term ambitions, at the very least, are clear, with the 41-year-old marching on for another year. Darren Milan is back after missing out last year. Key's explained why Stokes has signed the 12-month deal, though.
So what we've done is that normally the contracts follow the broadcast cycle, and the next broadcast cycle starts next year. And at that point, you can renegotiate and you can change the way you do contracts. So what that means for the multi-year deal guys is that they will be on no less than what they're on now. But it might be next year that there's a different system. At the moment we do it via like a point scoring system. So you get an amount of points for what we think you're going to do in red ball cricket, what we think you're going to do in white ball cricket, whether that's T20 and then ODIs. Now that system might change. We don't know what that is. We're going to work on that probably as soon as we've got this lot done, as it's taken a little bit of a while. So Ben, he'll feel that, like with all contracts, if you've got 1 year, you're in a stronger negotiating position, and we'll wait and see what happens. But by no means does it mean that Ben Stokes doesn't want to play for England. He's looking like everyone as captain of our test team. All he ever talks about really is how we can keep getting better, what we're doing. We're going to meet in a bit and start talking about the India tour that we've got after Christmas. So I wouldn't read into it at all.
Have been included in the 2-year contract list, including fast bowler Jofra Archer. He's currently in India as he looks to regain fitness from a long-standing injury, but he wasn't called up as a replacement for the injured Reece Topley, with Brydon Carse preferred. Archer hasn't played a test for over 2.5 years. Key says Archer remains one of the best bowlers in the world in any format, and he still wants to play for England.
We're not in a game, I think, or we've got to get out of a game where for us to win, franchise cricket has to lose, or for franchise cricket to win, we have to lose. It's not like that. Actually, we're going into a world where we have to work with people. Whether it's whatever franchise in the IPL, for example, take Jofra. We have to work with Mumbai Indians. They're paying him a lot more than we're doing. The fact that Jofra has signed, a 2-year deal, is brilliant for English cricket. He's one of the best bowlers in the world, if not the best, across all formats. He wants to play Test cricket. He could very easily have turned around and said, you know what, no, I'll go and play in South Africa for the Mumbai franchise. I could go and play in the IPL. I get paid a lot of money. I don't have to worry about English cricket. I'll do that as and when. But he's not said that. What he said is, no, I want to play for England. I put English cricket first, so I'm going to sign the contract for them. So we're in control, as it were, with Jofra. Albeit, that doesn't mean we're not going to let him do anything else. It's got to be a middle ground.
Wood's international career has been stop-start due to injury and workload, but perhaps surprisingly, he's been rewarded with a 3-year deal too at the age of 33, alongside rising star Brook. There are also development contracts for 3 players, which includes fast bowlers Matthew Fisher, Saqib Mahmood and John Turner.
In the contracts, it's at my discretion what they do. And that was the thing that came. That's why we changed away from match fees, because up until probably about 6 months ago, you never felt worried that the retainers were enough of an incentive to keep your players signing these contracts. But actually, Mark Wood got offered, as you say, a lucrative deal to go and play in the competition out in the UAE. But what this does now, actually, it means that he's now playing for England. So there's no deal in there where he's like going to go off and play that and then come for us. No, he's committed to English cricket. And that's the great thing about this. We now find out where do people stand with that. And as soon as we offered it to Mark Wood, he almost bit our hand off.